It was a crisp December morning in Maplewood, Oregon, and 42-year-old Natalie Harper was preparing for another day at the local dental clinic where she had recently started working. Fresh from dental hygiene school, Natalie was finally stepping into a promising new chapter of her life, one filled with optimism, newfound independence, and financial stability. After years of juggling motherhood, overcoming financial struggles, and enduring a complicated relationship with her ex-husband, Jonathan, her life seemed to finally be taking a positive turn. As the gentle sunrise illuminated the peaceful neighborhood, Natalie paused to tweet her friend Olivia about their upcoming weekend brunch, unaware her life was about to dramatically change forever. Just moments after sending the tweet, Natalie's phone buzzed. It was Jonathan, her ex-husband, whose car had broken down near Willow Creek Road. He urgently asked Natalie to drive their kids to school instead. Natalie sighed softly but quickly responded with a brief "K," adjusting her morning routine. Bundling up her 15-year-old daughter Emma, 12-year-old daughter Sophie, and 10-year-old son Lucas, Natalie navigated the picturesque streets of Maplewood. As she drove, Natalie reflected fondly on the tranquil beauty and neighborly warmth that had drawn her to Maplewood. It was the kind of place where neighbors greeted each other by name, children played carefree outdoors, and life flowed smoothly. Yet, beneath its charming exterior, unsettling tensions quietly simmered. After dropping her children off at school, Natalie returned home. At 7:11 a.m., she sent a message to her closest friend and confidant, Clara Bennett. Clara, who had supported Natalie through every twist of her tumultuous divorce, eagerly replied, confirming their weekly coffee catch-up with cheerful emojis. Unbeknownst to Clara, this exchange would tragically become Natalie's last confirmed communication. At 9:18 a.m., a disturbing 911 call was placed from Natalie's phone. Dispatcher Margaret Thompson, a seasoned professional with nearly 20 years of experience, answered the call but heard only a brief, piercing scream followed by static before the line abruptly disconnected. Margaret immediately attempted to call back, but Natalie's phone had been turned off. GPS data confirmed the call had originated from Natalie's home, yet for reasons that remain unclear, no police patrol was dispatched, a decision that would later haunt the entire community. Throughout the day, Natalie's phone continued sending messages, but investigators later concluded none were authored by her. At 2:45 p.m., Emma texted her mother about their afternoon pickup arrangements. 20 minutes later, a response came stating Jonathan would pick them up because Natalie had a headache. A subsequent message, notably using Lucas's special family nickname Luke, stated, "Dad will be there in 10 minutes." However, Jonathan never arrived, his phone remaining off and unreachable. Growing anxious, Emma repeatedly messaged Natalie but received no further responses. Concerned, Emma called her older brother, Noah, who worked at a nearby automotive shop. Immediately sensing trouble, Noah left work to pick up his younger siblings, bringing them to Jonathan's residence. Jonathan appeared startled but not overly concerned by his children's unexpected arrival. Assuming Natalie was simply unwell, he anticipated seeing her later that evening at their son Liam's basketball game. At 5:45 p.m., Jonathan texted Natalie, "If you feel better, call me. I'll meet you at the entrance so you don't have to pay." But Natalie never arrived. As the evening progressed without contact, Jonathan's concern intensified. After the game, he took the kids to Natalie's house, finding it dark and locked. They circled the home with flashlights, peering inside but noticing nothing unusual. Jonathan reluctantly returned home, hopeful Natalie would reach out soon. By the following day, December 2nd, Jonathan resolved that if Natalie hadn't appeared by 7 p.m., he would contact the police. Simultaneously, Natalie's mother, Eleanor, residing in Florida, became increasingly frantic after repeated unsuccessful attempts to reach her daughter. With Natalie's voicemail full, Eleanor finally contacted emergency services at 5 p.m., urgently requesting a welfare check. At 6:15 p.m., officers arrived at Natalie's residence, noting an untouched package on the doorstep and unsettling silence. They briefly circled the property, shining lights inside, but observed nothing alarming and departed after only 10 minutes. On the morning of December 3rd, at 9:11 a.m., police returned accompanied by the homeowner and finally entered Natalie's home. Inside, they discovered a horrifying scene. Natalie's body was found nearly undressed, her hands tightly bound, amidst clear signs of a violent struggle. Furniture was overturned, and belongings were scattered throughout the room. The coroner's examination later revealed Natalie endured hours of severe torture, suffering 10 broken ribs, a crushed larynx, and over 90 separate injuries, including stun gun marks. Her cause of death, slow, excruciating asphyxiation, lasted almost 2 agonizing hours. The subsequent investigation quickly honed in on Jonathan as the primary suspect. His alibi fell apart under scrutiny, with surveillance footage contradicting his account and DNA evidence conclusively linking him to the crime scene. Detectives pieced together Jonathan's meticulously planned murder, driven by jealousy, obsession, and mounting financial stress. He had deliberately staged the scene to mimic a sexual assault, attempting to shift suspicion toward men Natalie had met through online dating. Despite his attempts at deception, the overwhelming forensic evidence sealed his fate. In May 2013, Jonathan Harper was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Natalie's tragic end profoundly impacted the community of Maplewood, leaving enduring emotional scars within her family. The Harper children, already burdened by their parents' bitter divorce, faced immense hardship. Years later, Emma, who had autism and had struggled immensely after the trauma, tragically took her own life, a heartbreaking reminder of violence's lasting ripple effects.